The Ben Heck Show is brought to you by Element 14, the electronic design community where you can connect and collaborate with top engineers from around the world. Join now at element14.com. Hello and welcome back to the Ben Heck Show. Karen, you've got the new Xbox One X.
I do, and guess what we're gonna do with it?
Maybe take it apart like we do every new console that comes out?
Take it apart.
All right, so in this episode, yes, we're gonna take a look at the Xbox One X, take it apart, see what's inside, and talk about what we find. Let's get started.
Amazing hacks.
Should we take it for a spin?
Inspired designs.
Imhotep's priests.
Regrettable acting.
No one seems to get it.
Each week, Element 14's The Ben Heck Show brings you innovative projects using electronics, engineering, and more.
All right, Max obtained an Xbox One X on launch day. So this is the latest version of the Xbox One. This one has a much larger GPU, which allows it to do 4K gaming. So it's basically Microsoft's version of the PlayStation 4 Pro. Yeah, so this thing's supposed to be like the smallest Xbox ever, but also the most powerful. Everyone talks about, what is it, teraflops now? Like, ooh, because you see people on YouTube, it's like, this can do 5 teraflops and the old ones could only do 4 teraflops. So flops is floating point operations per second. So I guess it is cool if we can do more of them. Because nowadays the GPUs are much more powerful than the CPU. Like if you're doing like protein folding or mining Bitcoin, it's all about the GPU. Well, Bitcoin now it's about ASICs. I guess the people who spent tens and tens of thousands of dollars mining Bitcoin, I guess it was worth it. Bitcoin is ridiculous now, it's like gold. What do we have here? Game Pass. So that's that Xbox service where you can kind of like download whatever games you want. It's kind of like a subscription service. EA has it too, they call it EA Access. You could download all of the 50 gigabyte games you want that fits on your 1 terabyte hard drive. Ooh, and you could try Xbox Gold. What's this? It's like that, what's that show, Unbox Therapy? Oh, this must be the controller. It's probably gonna be just the latest Xbox controller. I actually don't like the new version of the Xbox controller because they complicated the inside of it. They simplified it, which made it more complicated. So it's actually harder for us to mod. I think this one also has Bluetooth, so you can use it as a wireless controller. So I could use that to play Cuphead. Hey, that's a Microsoft exclusive game. I think it's kind of funny that they tout Cuphead as an exclusive, even though the game could run on a toaster. It's an awesome game, though. Well, that's all of the accoutrement. Let's take a look at the main system itself. Okay, well, it's rather heavy. Yeah, weighs about 10 pounds. Has an interesting smell. Smells like new drywall mixed with an airplane. I do have a shell. Oh yes, here we go. So here's the Xbox One S shell that I should have just thrown away, but we kept it, which is good because now we can compare it. I don't know. Look at this. The Xbox One X is about 5 millimeters wider. I don't understand. I thought this was supposed to be the smallest. It's bigger, at least in the XY axes. Look at that. You got about, well, here. Let's get the dial caliper. It's the smallest Xbox One console ever, even though it is 3.8 inches deeper and 0.14 inches wider. Maybe it's thinner? This is exactly 2.5. Yeah, designed in America. This is, oh, 2.36. All right, so it's slightly shorter, but a little bit wider in this direction. So it's kind of like a pancake. They like smushed it down a little bit, but then it came out the sides. I also kind of wish that they would just make a console without a Blu-ray drive. Just give it up. It's done. Do not move console without, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the heaviest Xbox One thus far. Yeah, all the standard stuff. Oh, they've got the HDMI In and Out. Here's a fun fact. The Xbox One was originally supposed to act as a cable box. That's why it has HDMI In and Out, but then that feature was kind of quietly dropped before release because the deal fell through with whatever cable company they were working with. I don't know if I should say that, but that's what happened. Well, I couldn't help but notice a little sticker back here, and I'm assuming that there's going to be a hex screw underneath it. Oh, what a surprise. So this is the, oh, I'm sorry, your warranty's void because we see you remove this sticker. Oh my gosh! That is the most straightforward any Xbox console has come apart since the original Xbox One. The original Xbox. Look at that, 2 screws, and it just slides right off. Yeah, because usually they have a bunch of stupid tabs and stuff. Oh, that's interesting. They mounted the CPU upside down, look at that. That's a first. Wonder why they did that. All right, well, so far this is pretty standard Xbox construction. They have the wireless module outside of the RF cage, obviously because you can't transmit that through metal. And this front panel here is probably for the controllers. So I'm probably gonna remove the wireless portions first because they're gonna be plugged into the main board in a certain way. On some of these consoles, they only use security screws on the outside just to slow you down. But then once you get inside, it's all Phillips because they're like, screw it, you're already in. Oh, connector right there. That's succinct. It's weird, they haven't used a connector like that before. Usually they have some proprietary stuff and that just looks like a 2mm pitch standard header. Oh, then see this is conductive foam. All right, so now they are using a flat flex ribbon cable connector. Kind of a weird one too. Does it flip up or? Oh no, this isn't glued in place, is it? Oh, there's a, look, another one. Then what is this ribbon cable connected to, I wonder? Is it this button? That's odd. Let's see if I can just pull this out. Nope, it's got some sort of retention. Oh, okay. I just yanked it out. That's how it works. The back of it flips up. Hopefully I didn't damage it. What is this, another ribbon cable of some kind? That's weird. Let's see what surprises lie under door number 1. That's an odd connector to find. That's kind of connectors they'd use in a cell phone. Interesting. All right, so I'm guessing this has the standard issue Xbox assembly at this point, which is these longer screws are attaching the metal can to the bottom of the case. So if we remove them, the can should come out. Oh, okay, so we got to go up and out to get it away from the Blu-ray drive. I got the console here. Oh, that's still really heavy. This looks like something from a car, you know, like, well, we had to change your transmission module fluid and that'll be $5,000. All right, what were these funky connectors? So this, oh, okay, this is just like a USB hub connector here. This one, and probably also has the eject button on it. Yep, and then this ribbon cable that we pulled out of the front, that is the sync button and the IR detector, because you can use IR remotes with your Xbox. All right, well, the motherboard is gonna be here. Looks like they've once again used their X clamp. And these screws are probably what's holding the 2 sides of the case together. Oh, that was pretty easy. Oh, it's the inside of the Xbox One X. Yeah, this thing must have a pretty powerful fan, because look at all this foam padding they've put around the cage. They really don't want this vibrating the plastic shell. Oh, well, look how everything's really well labeled in case you didn't know. Fan, disc, purr. More, what the heck what is this? What is this cable here? What? Oh, that's coming from the power connector. Okay, I'm kind of thinking the Blu-ray drive will just pop out. I mean, it'll have cables on it, obviously. But, oh, gee. It's almost like you take apart enough of these things and nothing surprises you anymore. Yeah, it looks like we have our good old SATA connector and then the same power connector they've been using since the original Xbox. So I guess we call it the OG Xbox, or, oh look, a hard drive. Hey, Seagate, nice. I wonder if you can put a solid state drive in these things, that'd be cool. I really wish they would use something else for the power cable. They've been using this cable for what, 16 years now. I mean, the real meat and potatoes of this console is going to be whatever heatsink they've put into it. This is actually a lot closer in design to the PlayStation 3 and 4, where they have a blower fan and it's blowing past your CPU and then out the back. All right, so this is the same kind of hard drive connection they've used for pretty much all of the Xbox One consoles. So it's just a laptop size SATA spinner disc, and then it has the adapter out the end here with your standard SATA connector, and then this little guy here, which is gonna be 5 volts and ground. CPU is probably not gonna come loose until we remove the X clamp, but this might come loose. Come on, there we go. Wait, where's the plug? Oh, that's weird. Look, they're taking the AC power plug over all of that. Oh, look at this. Fan connector. Looks like the fan, and at least the fan shroud is loose already, to reveal the heatsink. Oh my gosh, look at all that copper. Oh, there's your price. Well, not like copper costs $500, but they don't give it away. So Felix noticed something on this big chunk of copper. There's a little pinched off portion right there. This must be their new vapor cooling chamber. So they would fill it up with whatever is inside of it, and then just like neon, they would pinch off the end to seal it up. So I better not accidentally break that tab, otherwise it's going to lose whatever magical juice is inside of it. All right, let's remove the X clamp. X clamp is the same kind of thing they've been using since the Xbox 360 and the dreaded Ring of Death. You know the thing that was insane though? Everyone's 360s kept breaking, but everyone kept buying it. I think I went through 2 or 1, at least 2. All right, now we should be able to break the seal. Oh. Let's do an overview of all the parts that we found inside of the Xbox One X, which is like a tongue twister. The 6th Sheik's Sheep's Chick. All right, so we have this super copper heatsink with a vapor chamber inside of it, and then on top of that, a more standard steel radiator on it. Then we have our very large die, which is the GPU CPU combination, and the power regulators going to it, they are also being sunk into this massive heatsink right there. Compared to the old Xbox 360, I mean, this thing is a pretty efficient design. The old Xbox 360 was filled with regulators and coils everywhere and lots of capacitors, and this is pretty simple. I guess they put most of that into the power supply, and even the power supply is, considering the fact that it outputs 20.42 amps, it's pretty small. All right, so we have our 12 gigabytes of RAM. The earlier consoles only had 8 gigabytes, and actually the PlayStation 4 Pro, I think, also still only has 8 gigabytes. So this one actually has 4 gigs more than the PlayStation 4 Pro. Of course, some of that's used up by the operating system. And then this whole motherboard is kind of designed upside down. So it has surface mount upside down HDMI ports. So when it's upside down, the ports appear to be right side up. Same thing with the USB. The Connect port is gone, RIP Connect. All right, so we have our wireless controller front panel here, our wireless connection panel here, and these things are pretty much, these are attached the same way they've been done since the Xbox 360. Outside of the RF cage with a connector out the front and the back, although they're using standard 2mm pitch headers now instead of their own custom connectors, which is probably good. Yeah, a pretty straightforward system. Oh, don't forget your 1 terabyte Seagate hard drive. This 1 terabyte hard drive will fit maybe like 8 games in it, the way things are going. I don't know why they don't have a bigger hard drive. I mean, who cares? It's just a spinner disk, right? All right, well, Xbox One X, I would say my overview, it's actually the easiest to disassemble Xbox that I have seen since the Xbox original from 2001. Because the Xbox 360 and then the Xbox Slim and then the Xbox One and the Xbox One X all had these ridiculous tabbed together cases and this thing just had 2 screws and done, it's open. I like that.
Well, what do you think? Is the Xbox One X worth it over the Xbox One S? Tell us about it in the comments on the Element 14 community on element14.com/TBHS.
You can also go there to read about other upcoming episodes, builds, and special events. We'll see you next time. I suppose I should put this back together now, huh?
Yes, we can actually play it.
I knew you'd sell your mother for an Eskurskin vase, but I never thought you'd sell your soul to the slime of humanity. You can see one of the sacred rocks from here. Okay, Felix, it's time to resume work on the mini pinball kit.
We're gonna work on the upper half of the playfield and figure out how we can have walls and barriers and mechanisms that can be moved around in different configurations.
I want to refine this audio a little bit more.
What's wrong with it?
I haven't thoroughly tested it.
It's the Super Tab.
This works just like the knob potentiometer, except it's with buttons.